In today's video, I'm going to share with you not one or two, but 5 different ways on how you can decorate your Christmas tree this holiday season. Keep watching. Hey you guys, welcome back to Ramon at Home. I am Ramon, a Christmas design expert and seasonal decorator here to help you feel more comfortable about your designs. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you not one, not two, but 5 different ways on how you can decorate your Christmas tree this holiday season. We have traditional, we have glam, we have whimsical. It's going to be so much fun. I'm super excited to get started with this holiday season for Christmas 2024, and I cannot wait for you guys to see all of the videos we have planned out for you. So if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and if you subscribe, don't forget to turn the notification bell on because you will not want to miss any of the Christmas season for 2024. And if you would do me a huge favor to share this video with a friend or family member on Facebook, on Instagram, or on WhatsApp, because it is free and it really helps this channel. Well, if you guys are ready, we're gonna get started with a beautiful glam and traditional looking Christmas tree that I know you're going to love. Let's take a look. All right, so let's get started. For this gorgeous Christmas tree in a vintage Vogue theme, what we're going to do is we're going to create some beautiful bouquets. And we're gonna start with these beautiful David Christopher's hydrangeas. They're silk hydrangeas, however, they look like they're dry. They are so pretty, you guys. It has this beautiful salmon color, like they're just fading in the sun. It's absolutely gorgeous. Then also we're going to use some magnolia foliage. We're gonna use a big poinsettia. We're going to use some of this beautiful eucalyptus, a cedar eucalyptus that is so stunning. And then also we're going to use a rose gold pick that it's going to be so much fun. All right, so let's get started. These are the items we're going to use. And I'm gonna start with my beautiful gilded silver magnolia. I'm just in awe of how beautiful this one really is. All right, so I'm gonna fluff it because you know we have to fluff every single stem that we grab. Then after that, I'm gonna bring one of these hydrangeas and I'm going to add it right here. So basically like this. After this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of these longer picks, and also we wanna give them a fluff because it is pretty flat right out of the box. But if we give it a fluff like this, if you just move those arms to the side, look how much more product you get. So we're going to add that one right here on the bottom. So it kind of has that spillage forward. We're gonna bend our hydrangea a little bit up like this, and then our magnolia a little bit to the left. How beautiful is this? All right, so now what I'm gonna grab one of these beautiful poinsettias and we're going to open it because they come close like this on the box. And then also the color on this is so pretty, you guys. It's like a salmon, absolutely beautiful. And what I love about these poinsettias is that it has a glitter one and then it has a velvet one. And so you want to touch every single one of those petals to make a ginormous poinsettia. And then once you open them up, be sure to give them a little bit of character just by bending the tips, one to the north, one to the south, one up, one down. All right, so once we have our poinsettia open like this, what we're going to do is we're gonna add it right here to our cluster. So this is what it's going to look like. And then to finish it off, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab one of these beautiful eucalyptus and I'm gonna put it right under it. So it's going to look like this. And I forgot that I also have some clusters of these roses from David Christopher's. So I'm gonna add this guy right here. So basically you have yourself a beautiful bouquet. Now you're gonna grab a zip tie and we're going to zip tie all of this together to make sure that it's all in place. So grab your zip tie and before you cinch all the way through, make sure that it's tight, but before you cinch all the way through, make sure you give your poinsettia a little lift like this, your roses a little left like this, and then your hydrangea. You might want to split your magnolia. So basically we're fluffing our bouquet. Once our bouquet is fluffed and in place where we want it, we're going to cinch this really shut tight, really hard. Then we're gonna grab our wire cutters, we're gonna cut the excess, and then also we're gonna cut all of these stems a little bit shorter because we don't want them poking out of our Christmas tree. So I'm gonna cut that one, this one, and this one. This one's a little harder, so you know what I'm gonna do with this one? I'm just gonna bend it back like this, because it's really, really thick on the stem, really hard to cut. So you're gonna be left with this right here. I'm gonna put this one to the side over here, and we're going to do another one. But this time I'm gonna start, because by making the first one, I learned a lesson. You know, this was really hard to fluff, but I already had everything in my hand. So you learn as you go. So what we're going to do is we're gonna fluff our ginormous poinsettia. Look how pretty, you guys. Absolutely stunning. Salmon color, peachy color. It is so pretty. And like I said, just give character to all of these foliages or all these petals by giving them a little bit of a curvature and make them 3D dimensional. Look how pretty this is. Isn't that just stunning, Jameson? By the way, give it up for Jameson, who's here, you guys. He's been helping behind the scenes. Come on over, come say hi. He's been helping with the editing and all of those things.
I'm back.
What do you have to say to the public this week?
Well, Christmas is here, and I'm glad we're breaking the mold here. We're doing some stepping outside of the box and doing some new creative things that are normally out of the norm for us. So it's exciting.
It is exciting to do something new, and actually it was Jameson who suggested to start like the steps different, because he's like, well, this is getting repetitive, Ramon. So I'm sure they get it, so let's do something different. All right, well, thank you for being here.
You'll like it.
You'll like it, I think you will. All right, so once we fluffed our beautiful poinsettia, I'm gonna set it down. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fluff my magnolia. Those two were like the hardest things to do as I worked on my hand. You know, as a florist, you're kind of used to it, but I know that not everybody has that time to do all that. So I always say prep twice and work once, and it really does work like that. All right, so now that we have our magnolia fluffed, now we can get started. So the very first thing you need is your hydrangea. Remember to give it a little bit of a curvature up so it looks facing up. We're gonna place that hydrangea right here where our magnolia is, never letting go of the core of this, okay? And then after we're done with this, what we're going to do is we're going to bring our rose gold. We're gonna just open those arms a little bit. We're gonna put everything works under, like you have to go under that, like this. You're basically building layers up. Then we're going to bring our eucalyptus, and we're gonna put that one under as well. We're creating those layers. And all of this has arms, and look at that, just by opening them, how absolutely beautiful. Then I'm gonna bring my poinsettia, and I'm gonna add it right here, and I'm gonna give it a lift up, like that. And then on the other side, I'm gonna add these clusters of roses, just for texture. And without letting go of my core, remember to always zip tie all of this together with a zip tie. And you guys can find zip ties at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, even the dollar store has some zip ties, I think. But it really does, it is cheaper if you just buy them by the bulk, especially if you decorate. Before we cinch everything shut, we're gonna make sure that everything's in place, and now we can really pull on that zip tie really tight. And what we're going to do is we're gonna cut this excess, and we're gonna make this a little bit shorter, like this. And that one that we decided we're just gonna fold up because it is very thick. So right now I don't wanna struggle with it. So we have this right here. It's our cluster of beautiful stems. We give it a little bit of a curvature. I have 2 already made. I'm going to do a total of 5. So let me get those ready, and I'll be right back with you to let you know how to install this on your Christmas tree. Keep watching. All right, so our first step after we've done all of our bouquets is going to be to install those. And so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start right here about the middle. And as you guys know, I bended that bigger stem down. So what I'm going to do is look for a spot right here to let my focal point just come out. Look how absolutely gorgeous that looks. Let me do one more over on this side. And what I want you to do is to take a step down. So basically you do one up, one down, and then one facing to the left and one facing to the right. And if you want to secure this, grab a bristle right here on the back and just cross it around it. So I'm gonna go one like that. I'm gonna grab another one that I have already made over here, and I'm going to go over to this side right here. So I wanna do one step down. So I'm gonna go over to this side, but I'm gonna do more like forward, because if I was to put it right here, it's gonna be right under it. So what I wanna do is put it right in the middle, like this. And of course, we're gonna fluff all of these elements in a minute so that you can see all of them. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab this guy right here, and I'm gonna go all the way over to this side, and I'm going to go right here. And remember to fluff all those elements. Like this one, I don't like the way that my poinsettia got crushed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up even further, and I'm gonna go back and fluff her again to make sure that she's not getting lost in all of that beauty of the tree. And I'm gonna go right here, and I'm gonna install it one more time like that, and then just let her hang down like that. As you guys can see, it spills forward. And I have one left that is over here. Now I have to decide whether I want to add it on the top, but I feel like the top, it's a little too small for it, but I do have other poinsettias that I'm going to add to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring it over to this side, and I'm gonna add it right here. Pushing all the way in, like that. And so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have saved some of the elements that we used to add to the top, and we're gonna start doing that by adding some of the same eucalyptus. And this stem is a little too long for my tasting, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna cut right here, and I'm going to cut right here. So now what we need to do is use some of the same elements, but now remember they need to be facing up on our tree. So we're gonna go right there, and then right here. I'm gonna bring the rest of the stems ready, and I'll be right back to give you the next step. Keep watching. All right, so this is what the tree is looking like so far. As you guys can see, these poinsettias really dark, like they call your eye to it. It's such a focal point. I went ahead and added some of the elements that I added on the focal points up here, like the magnolia, and then also this beautiful eucalyptus. We're gonna stop right there because there's still so much more to come. The next step is I'm going to add some ornaments. So I'm gonna add these beautiful David Christopher ornaments, and I wanna keep them in. Like I don't want them to be too forward because I really want the tree to shine. This is such a gorgeous Christmas tree that I really want them to just go in and let those focal points really shine, and I don't want it to be as packed as some that we've done in the past. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up my stem where I want it, and then I'm going to just grab that wire and hang it around, and I'm gonna repeat that throughout the Christmas tree, and I'm gonna try to avoid the spaces where those focal points are, because remember, I want them to be the star of the show. So what I mean is I'm gonna look for places like right here. I don't know if you guys can see right here, I have a void. That's where I want to put an ornament. Actually, you know, that's too close to that one. But I'm going to go over to this side. I'm going to go right here and add this guy right here. This is such a gorgeous tree with all the stems coming forward. So I really want the tree and the focal points to shine through this time. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right here. I'm going to add one right here. And for the top, I've saved a few of the same ones, but in the little ones. I don't want to add large ornaments to the top this time because like I said, want the tree to really shine through and to just be absolutely gorgeous. And I have some specialty ornaments that will go on some of the tips, but I don't want to overcrowd it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this other champagne glitter ornament. And you guys, here's the thing. If you are selecting ornaments for a tree, if it is this big of a tree, a 4-inch ornament or a 6-inch ornament is all I would use. This is a 4-inch, this is a 6-inch, and anything smaller than that, if it is a specialty ornament like a crystal, a snowflake, the ones you will see later on, they are made of glass, they're more precious to you, then they need to go on the tips. But if you add any small ornament, I wish I had one. Jameson, will you pass me that gold ornament right there, like that on the leaf, that right there, that right there. If you add smaller ornaments like this, you're going to literally lose them unless you cluster them, a whole bunch of them. So what we're doing is we're adding larger ornaments, and remember, we want to really push them into the Christmas tree to make your eye travel all throughout. And I just absolutely love these ones. All right, you guys, so now we're gonna move on to adding some stems. I went ahead and added all of the rest of those ornaments. And like I was telling Jameson, this time around, I don't want it to be super packed with ornaments because I want those arrangements to really stick out. So now I'm going to add a little bit of champagne and I'm going to add those on the branches. So basically every branch that I have that sticks out, I'm gonna try and do some of these. And I need to cut them a little shorter because they're super long. So don't be afraid to cut your stems, you guys, because you'll get more bang for your buck by cutting the stems than not, because you can really manipulate them. If we just fold it like this, then when you're trying to get it out of the tree, it's so hard. Trust me when I tell you that. And that's why I'm gonna cut it. Even though I was gonna put it like that, I know I'm like, oh, when I try to get it out, I know I'm gonna be struggling and I'm gonna be regretting not taking it out. And remember to give it a little bit of a spin like that. And also remember that the third top of the tree, or the top of the tree, really starts need to looking up to have balance in your tree. So I'm gonna go over to this side. I'm gonna put this one over here. And you see right here, the mixing of all of these stems really is trying to create some texture on our tree. So I'm gonna add some of these also right here on the bottom, but first I'm gonna cut a little bit of it. And you also almost kind of have to wait to cut the stems until you're working on them. So that way you know where it is that you need to cut those stems. So now I have some of these beautiful pampas grass, you guys. And this pampas grass, if you are, I said grass, this pampas grass, it is perfect if you're trying to do boho chic theme. Look at that, that just adds so much texture. So I'm gonna go like that, and then I'm going to go, well, let me see, over here, right there. Then I'm gonna move over here and we're gonna push it in. I don't want it to stick out, but I want it to give me more texture than focal point. I'm gonna put this one right here. Then I'm gonna put this guy over on this side. And I'll explain real quick why I did that. So I went top, where's the other one? Left, right, moving on that step ladder motion. So far we've added our stems. And remember that we have some poinsettias to add to the top. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring out some of those poinsettias. And you guys, how absolutely stunning is this poinsettia? It is made out of velvet and it has a beautiful gold edge with glitter. Be still, my heart. How absolutely stunning is this? So now what we're going to do is we're gonna get a little bit of a curvature like this, and I'm gonna start adding some of these poinsettias up to the top. Because remember, I told you that I was gonna have the same elements. So I'm gonna add one right there. Because I already have my big poinsettias right here, I wanna bring that color up into the tree. You have to make sure that everything that goes down or everything that goes up must come down. Everything that happens on the left happens on the right. Look at this, you guys. Jameson, how so stunning is this?
I love it.
Okay, so now I'm gonna add one over to this side. I'm gonna bend it a little bit. I'm gonna add one right here to the top. This one I wish I was at least 2 inches taller, but I am blessed to be here. And so you know, that's one thing I don't like to complain. I used to complain about myself all the time, but then when I learn what God says about me, you know, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. So then when you finally realize that God made you the way that you are, with your talents and the color of your skin and your eyes and your height and your stature and your voice, then you start to appreciate who you really are. So if you are struggling with that, I really do recommend to get in the Word and to find out what it is that God says about you, and you will learn to love yourself because your Creator loves you so much. And so now for this step, I'm going to add some of this absolutely stunning David Christopher's ribbon. And the way we're going to do that is going to also be different, because we're trying, like Jameson said, we're trying to be different with this Christmas tree. You know, there is just so many ways to decorate a Christmas tree. And you're right, sometimes it can be repetitive. So we have to make sure that we are different. So for this, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna do little loop bows like this. And then I'm gonna do a 2-loop bow, and I'm gonna grab my wire. And what you wanna do at this point is start to cover some of those gaps that you may have, like right here. So we're gonna push a bow in, grab our wire and just attach it like that. Then I'm gonna grab my scissors and I'm going to cut out a slant right here. So look at that. That gives us so much more depth, dimension. Let me do it one more time. If you made it this far into the video, I'd appreciate it if you give the video a big old thumbs up, you share it with your friends, and know that that truly helps to reach out more people when you invite people to come and join this channel. I really appreciate it, you guys, if you do that for me and for Jamison. And give Jamison a thumbs up for all the help this year. Right, so I'm gonna grab one right here. Remember to use your wire to attach. And then what I'm going to do is bring that tail forward like this, and then we're gonna cut at a slant right here. And we're gonna continue to do this step, which is, ribbon is my favorite step. I think ribbon can really make or break your tree or your garland. But lucky for us, David Christopher's does have some of the best ribbons on the market. They are some of my favorites. And we have to be very selective of what we buy, you guys, because it is our money. And so if you go with quality ribbon, you can always store it if you store it properly. All right, so I'm gonna go over to this side. Let me see. I'm gonna add one right here. Sometimes you have to go through the stems and all that stuff if I really want my ribbon to stay right there. And then what I do is I just cut at a slant right here. And look how much texture that is given to our tree. It's helping us to fill in those gaps, and it's making it look more luxurious. And that is one of the things that ribbon does, is to make your tree look so luxurious if you choose, like I said, the right ribbon. And this one is so pretty. It has a sheen to it, and it has some rose gold and gold in it. It is absolutely stunning. Right, so I'm gonna continue doing this. I am in love with this color palette, you guys. I cannot extend how absolutely gorgeous this is. And we're gonna now throw it over the edge with some beautiful David Christopher ornaments. They're made out of glass. And for that, I'm going to select some of the tips of my tree. And I'm gonna carefully add these ornaments. And I really want them to dance on the branches. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab this ribbon. Usually I would take this ribbon out and then I would put a wire in them. But because I really want them to dance on the branch, then what I'm going to do is just leave it like that. And look at that, how absolutely stunning. And these are the ornaments that you want to leave at the end. So you want to make sure that you find places where that ornament really hangs from branch to branch. And that's what this particular tree is so good for, because it has that, oh, I dropped one, but it's made out of plastic, so that's a good thing. I wish, I'm gonna zoom in on my face on that so you guys can really see my expression. Oh, I see why. Okay, so we're going to put these ones at the end of the, that took me out of my element. We're gonna put this at the very end of the tips like this. All right, you guys, so here is the end result of this beautiful vintage Vogue Christmas tree. I cannot tell you how absolutely gorgeous this is. Look at this cluster right here with the beautiful gigantic poinsettia, the roses, the hydrangea, and all of the picks that we added to create this focal point. As you guys can see on this tree, you can really see the branches of the tree, and all of the ornaments are just a complement to this Christmas tree. Most of these stems are on the champagne colors and gold, and the tree is just absolutely stunning with the champagne ornaments. Let me give you a close-up right here. This ornament right here is one of my favorite ones. And these poinsettias, you guys, are so beautiful with the gold center. And can we talk about the hydrangea? It is the same color and it's just absolutely gorgeous. I love the way this turned out, and I really hope that you did as well. Wasn't that Christmas tree absolutely spectacular? I just absolutely love the color and the way that that tree really has some arm for you to hang ornaments is just absolutely spectacular. But now we're going to take a road trip to Shinoda Design Center where I'm going to share with you how to decorate a whimsical cake inspired Christmas tree for the children. After all, Christmas is for the children. All right, so we're gonna get started with this gorgeous Christmas tree, you guys. And if you've been following the channel, you know that I like to start with the ribbon first. And I just wanna share with you my hero ribbon. Look how absolutely gorgeous this is. I love the little piping on the outer edge, and the polka dots is going to be super sweet since this is for a little girl. You know that every year I like to do something whimsical. That way, well, Christmas is for the kids. So if you have any daughters in your home or you're just a girly girl, this is perfect for you. So what I was gonna mention to you is that I always like to have my 4-step process, which is ribbons first, ornaments second, stems, picks, and florals third, and then at the end we add our accent ribbon. So, all right, so we're done with the ribbon technique, and so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my ornaments, and for that I selected this iridescent clear. And you guys, this is going to be super easy and quick because I don't have as many ornaments for this tree, but the ornaments that I did pick, they're so pretty. Like this iridescent, look how this catches the light and it really sells that fantasy of like bubbles and of cake. And so once again, you want to make sure that you go up and down. What happens on the right happens on the left. And I always tell you to always add, one ornament at a time. That way you create balance within your Christmas tree. So every time I just add like this particular ornament right here, I'm going to add one at a time with that wire. Remember that wire is your best friend because it really helps you to put that ornament in that specific spot where you want it. And this particular iridescent ornament, I learned, you guys, the other day that creating iridescent ornaments is actually more expensive than creating just clear ornaments. So you're gonna pay a little bit more for your iridescent, but look what that does. It really does catches the light in a way that no glass, just clear glass does. All right, so the next one I'm gonna add is this white that it has like an iridescent white glitter, like a mica flake. And I'm telling you, having this wire already on your ornaments, it really is the best thing you can do. And remember, I always tell you to add your ornaments in clusters. What you want to do is like every time that you add an ornament, like right here, I want to get closer to it and add another one because they become like best friends and they start to create more of a story than if you were to do just one ornament at a time or by itself. Like if you polka dot them, they don't look as good as they do. Like look, I am always looking for a spot where there is another ornament. So I'm gonna add this guy right here. I have a few more of these white iridescents. So I'm going to add, let's see, one over here on this side. You probably might not be able to see it right now, but you will when I give you that close up. And if it is for your home, when your guests come, they will be able to see those ornaments. Okay, I'm gonna add this guy right here with my wire. Now this that I have is one of my favorites. It's also just a clear glass. Now because this is a clear glass, what you want to do is you want to bring them as forward on the tip of your tree as possible, and that way they will really catch the light. You don't want to push them too far into the tree because if you do that, you're going to lose them. So what you want to do is grab a branch like this one right here, and then you go like this. You put it down and see how that'll show that ornament. And then also don't forget to go down like this. How pretty. Thumbs up if you guys are enjoying this series of Christmas trees this year. You know holidays is my favorite time of the year and I wait all year long to bring you guys all of these ideas, and you just wait to see some of the themes that we've done. I just cannot wait for you guys to see all of it. All right, so now I have this really pretty onion shape, like a finial onion. So what I'm going to do is I'm also gonna grab a specific spot like right here, and I'm going to wire that ornament. And look, let it dangle like that and see how it catches the light. Because it's iridescent, it really picks all of that pink color from it. Let me grab one right here. And I always tell you, when there are glass ornaments, do a double swirl to your ornament. Let me see. I'm gonna put one where you can see it really good so I can show you. I'm gonna add this one right here. So I'm gonna do one to my left, which is what I normally do, but for a glass one, you do two, and then you put down, and see how these two create a cluster right there? It looks so pretty. All right, so now I'm going to add this one. I'm gonna add it right here, dead center. One, two, back. So easy. Look how cute, just a few ornaments made this feel. And I'm gonna grab, Jameson, will you grab me the cakes, please? I'm gonna put this one on the floor over here. Come over here so people, you can come and say hi. Give it up for Jameson, everybody. He's been helping out.
And I'm bringing the sweets.
He's been hanging out and helping this season. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So this is the inspiration for this. Look, you guys, how cute are these cakes? So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab a spot like here, and then I'm gonna grab my, this comes with a string. You cannot wire these guys. So basically what you wanna do is you wanna go as far back, put it on a tip, and then bend it. And that way it's going to allow you to put your cake right there. I'm gonna do it one more time. So you grab, oh, there's some tags in it. You grab your cake, your stringy that comes in here, and then I'm gonna lift up right here. And I'm gonna grab a bristle on the back, and then I'm gonna bend it, and that's gonna hold it in place. It's super easy. Don't go too crazy trying to figure out. What you have to do is just grab this plastic string that already provided for you, grab a bristle, and then bend that bristle back, and that's gonna allow you to put your ornament wherever you want it to be. Right, I'm gonna do one more. Let's see, where else? I wanna do one up here, like all the way on the top, but how do I do that? All you have to do is grab a bristle, bend it back. Look how cute that is. Okay, one more. Let me see. I'm gonna add one right here. So I'm gonna look for a bristle. I can insert that and then bend back. Then I'm gonna fluff my ribbon again and see how that stayed where I put it. All right, so I'm gonna do now some wedges that I have. These are also super adorable. Look, you guys. Aren't these so good? They look like you could eat them. All right, so for these ones, I do want them to dangle. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab this branch right here. What you do is you put that stringy in there, and then you go around a few times until it looks like it's growing from it. Look at that, it'll stay there. How literally sweet is this? I'm gonna add one right here. So I'm gonna grab this right here. I'll show you. You grab your tip, and then you just go around a few times like this until you can go any further, and then that way you're gonna put your wedge right there. And I'm gonna go one right here on the bottom. Also, what you can do is put it where you want it, and then you just twist that, and then you bend your branch. That's gonna hold your wedge right there. Now I have also this really pretty, it's almost like a candy. What do you call this type of candy? It's sprinkles. Yes. Sprinkles. Has some sprinkles, and what I'm going to do is chung 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 chung. I have a cousin who every time she was cooking, she would make some noises like ding ding ding, and then she said that the food would taste better if you made those noises. And so for the longest time when we were kids, like we all made those noises thinking that we would really make the food taste better. All right, you guys, so I'm going to put right here. I'm gonna go over to this side and add a few of these really pretty ones. I'm gonna put this one right here. I'm gonna bend it, and I'm just gonna go ahead and let it drop like that. So it's right in the center. And let me see, let me get away from it for a second to see where else. You know what, I need one on the top, but I'm not tall enough. Let me see. I have to put it right here. Yes. All right. So I'm gonna set that one right there. How cute is this? I can't. All right, there's one last wedge that I think I'm gonna put over here. I'm just gonna let it drop in here, fold that tip, and I'm gonna put it right there so it looks cute. All right, so now I'm gonna get my favorite step, the third step, which is the pick stems and florals, and I'll be right back with you. Keep watching. Okay, so up until this point, every time that I decorate a Christmas tree, I tell everybody, trust the process. Because right now, it looks pretty compact but flat. It is when we start adding our picks and stems and florals that we really give our tree the dimension. Look at that. Just by adding this one pick, I'm gonna go over here. Remember to go from the front to the back. What goes up must come down, and making sure that you fluff those bows. I don't want to disturb my ribbons too much. But what I was telling you is these picks is what makes the tree really come alive, and it gives it that 3 dimension. Now my recommendation is to use at least 3 types of picks per tree to add the more texture to your tree. I'm gonna go one up. And then let's see, I'm gonna go over to this side again. I always like to go what happens on the right happens on the left. And when I add these stems, you guys, I always give them a little bit of a twist, because that way it has the more texture, what we call in the industry the money maker. I'm gonna add one all the way to the top, and I'm going to come over this way and see where else I need one of these picks. I'm gonna add it all the way to the bottom right here. All right, my next pick is going to be this super cute foliage that has that cake feel to it. Look at that, isn't that cute? It's like super girly and adorable, and I just absolutely love it. So I'm going to start adding these picks right here. I'm gonna take this tag off because it won't let me go in. Right here, look at that. It just brings out everything that you put on your tree. Now with this particular one, I do want you to go ahead and fluff, because you give these foliages more character by doing that. So I started right here. I'm going to go one up, and I'm gonna go right here. Remember that when you are decorating your Christmas trees, from this point on up, you have to face your ornaments and your picks going up, and from here down, they have to face down. And that's going to give your tree so much more depth and dimension and texture and all of the things, all of the tricks, and all of the tips. Like Jameson likes to make fun of me because I always say tips. You know, if I have a Spanish channel, it's called El Hogar de Ramon, which is kind of hard because I have to speak Spanish, and I always say tips y trucos, which is tips and tricks. But that's true, you guys. I'm showing you all the tips and the tricks. All right, so that's that. Oh, I have one more over here. So let me add this one. So I'm gonna add this guy, fluff, 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 like this, and I'm going to add this guy maybe right here on the bottom, maybe right here in the middle, like that. Look how much depth and dimension that gave us, right? All right, so now I'm going to add this super fun, oh my gosh, this is so fun, this iridescent ball. It looks like something from Dr. Seuss, don't you think? I love it. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add this iridescent ball spray right here, letting it come out like that. How fun. Okay, so I'm gonna go over to this side right here, like that. I don't like it right there. Maybe like this. There you go. A little better like that. Then I'm gonna go like that, making sure that I fluff these ornaments that are in it to make it look even more cute and sweet. I'm gonna go around, sorry to disappear for a second. El truco, the disappearance. Call me Houdini. Houdini. How was his name? Houdini? Houdini? Right, remember to this one added going up like this. Look, you guys, how sweet is this? But the cutest pick I selected is going to be this. Look at this. You can pull them up, and it's going to be so cute in here. So I'm going to add this guy right here. Look, just one, how it really does bring your eye, it just makes your eye travel through the tree. You can pull them, you can't, it's up to you. I like to pull them to make them look a little bit more fluffier, and that also catches the light so beautifully. Look at that. All right, so I have one right here, right here. I'm gonna add one right onto the top, maybe all the way, all the way, all the way like that. Because remember, what goes up must come down. We always have to make sure that we have the same elements all throughout our design, so that way it's cohesive. So I'm gonna go over to this side right here. And it's so important also that you guys step away from it and look at your tree to see where it is that you need some of the elements, because you don't want to have a tree that has everything on one side. And when we're working on it, we tend to just go to like the one side that we're working. That's why I'm always, I have this white pick that I think is going to really elevate the look, because it has that frosting look to it. and it's gonna blend in with all of this white. It's gonna extend the shape of our tree a lot. Look at that. You see that, how much depth and dimension. Now with this particular one, you do have to make sure that you fluff really good, so that way you get the max amount. Look at that, how absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna add a few more, like right here on the bottom. I'm gonna put one right here, right under my Christmas, and I'm sorry, my Christmas tree with my cake. I'm gonna add a few more over to the other side, and I'll be right back with you to give you the end result. Keep watching. And here is the end result. I love the way this tree turned out, you guys. Look how absolutely gorgeous. The ribbon with the little polka dots right here, it was my Julia Roberts ribbon. And this right here, the supporting actress ribbon, is so pretty. That glitter is so cute. I cannot wait. And look at this right here. Isn't that fun? You guys, the ornaments with the iridescent glow, like I said, they catch the light. And this right here, it's my favorite so far. I love it. It is perfect for a little girl's room or just a sweet shop. I really hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. I cannot wait to read your comments. So what do you guys think? Wasn't this tree absolutely gorgeous? I love the way the cakes and the candies and the color. It is super fun, and after all, Christmas is fun and for the children. But now we're gonna take a little break, and I just want to invite you to come and join me on my Instagram for daily Insta stories, behind the scenes, and all the things that you need to know about decorating for the holiday season. All right, you guys, well, now we're going to continue with our next Christmas tree that I know you're going to enjoy. Let's take a look. All right, everyone, so we're gonna get started with this beautiful blue and white inspired Christmas tree. If you know me, you know I absolutely love blue and white. I'm obsessed with it, and I think I will always be. So I think that it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. And for this tree, I chose this beautiful, oh my gosh, wait till you see it. It is a gorgeous velvet that is like a baby blue, and then I chose this chinoiserie beautiful ribbon and an accent navy ribbon. However, I'm always telling you that I always like to start with the ribbon first. In this case, we're gonna start with the ornaments first. And for that, I selected a variety of blue and white ornaments. And I'm gonna start with this right here. What I want to do is push them in to my tree a little further in because I want them to be hidden. So I'm gonna start always in the middle. I'm gonna bring one up higher. A lot of people would not put this big of an ornament up on the top of the tree, but I'm not most people, let's just be honest. I'm gonna push this guy right here, and I'm gonna add this over on this side, making sure that I push it in. This is gonna give us some texture, depth, and dimension in our tree. I have 6 of these ornaments. These are the largest ones I'm gonna add to my tree. I'm gonna go all the way over here. And like I said, you have to make sure that what goes up must come down. So make sure that you distribute those ornaments all throughout the Christmas tree. And you know that here, Ramon at home, by the time we're done with this tree, well, it'll be overflowing with gorgeous pink stems florals. But the very first thing we're going to do is finish adding all of this beautiful ornaments. All right, I have one more of this one, and I'm always telling you to kind of step away from it to see where else you need to fill in the gaps. So those are going to be the first ones. They just added some of the blue color. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring a selection of smaller ornaments, and these all are 4-inch. Now I have 3 kinds. I'm going to start right here on the top. And what you want to do is always, always, always one ornament type at a time. So in this case, I'm going to do a zigzag motion. So I start right here. I'm going to start my zigzag over on this side right here. And then I'm gonna grab the same ornament. I'm gonna do a step ladder motion going down. So I'm gonna add this guy right here. And I'm always telling you guys to have all of your ornaments prepped and wired. And look how easy it is to just go ahead, and I want to give a shout out to Jameson, who wired all of our ornaments today. Come and say hi. Give it up for Jameson.
Took me a while to get the technique down again, but I did. So.
He finally got it. So which one so far is your favorite?
Probably the candy one.
The candy one. All right, we have so many more to go. So
we do.
thank you, Jameson, for being here today. So we're gonna go this way now. So we're gonna go, remember what happens on the right, happens on the left, and what goes up must come down. So you have to make sure that you have plenty ornaments to go all the way from the top to the bottom, going on that zigzag motion. So I'm gonna add this guy right here in the middle. We have other kinds like this guy right here. This is so pretty. Look how beautiful. Now, the secret for this look, you guys, is to create a selection of blue and white to reminisce of that chinoiserie theme. So what we want to do is add as many as possible in the same shade and color hue, because that's going to create that blue and white story. And remember to go from the top to the bottom, and I'm going to add this guy right here. And I'm always telling you that when you are adding your ornaments, to go ahead and cluster them together, like this guy right here. I'm going to make sure that these two are clustered together so they kind of start to tell a larger story than if you were to add them all by themselves. Like this right here, I'm going to add this ornament to this branch. And look how they're starting to cluster together, but the secret is to do one ornament at a time. I'm gonna show you one more time. So there's these two right here. I'm gonna add another ornament right in there. And zigzagging, doing that zigzag motion, I'm gonna go over to this side, like that. Then I'm going to go over to this side. See how these two cluster together? They're gonna tell a story. All right, so I'm gonna go over to this side, in here. And I'm gonna continue adding these ornaments all throughout. I'm gonna speed this up because I already explained this to you, so keep watching. All right, so we are done adding all of the ornaments so far, because we're going to be adding some glass ones towards the end. But the next thing is I'm going to add the picks and the stems to this. And so I thought I'd create something fun and fabulous. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab one of these hydrangea stems that is perfect for the blue and white. I'm gonna grab one of these stems, and I've shown you this technique before. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the stem. I'm gonna show you a few, and then I'm gonna speed it up and then do all of the rest off camera, because they're self-explanatory. But what you want to do is you wanna grab your stems and make sure that you fluff every single little stem on it, because we want it to look very, very beautiful. And then I'm gonna grab yet another one of these blue ones right here, and I'm gonna start layering them. You're gonna create that chinoiserie look with some stems. I'm gonna grab a white one, and you guys, this white stem is one of my favorite ones we've been using. We've used this on the cake tree, and then also the black and white. If you have not seen those trees, I'm gonna link them down below, and a selection of a whole bunch of other trees, so you can see techniques that you probably don't even know. That way you can learn how to create beautiful Christmas trees. So now I'm going to add my hydrangea right here, going to the south. Now this one right here is my favorite flower. Let me get an open one. This absolutely gorgeous. So we're going to put this guy right here. The beauty about this is because you can really fluff it. Look at that. And all of those blue and white colors, it really is telling a story. Then I'm going to add yet another flower right here on this side to kind of create this cluster of flowers and stems. And you can play with the stems to kind of create that beautiful pick. Now here's the secret. Go ahead and bend those flowers heads up a little bit so they can show. Look how gorgeous. And you know what? I'm going to even add another navy one towards the bottom to make that, look at that. How beautiful. All right, so I'm gonna grab a wire. Always have your tools at the ready. At this point, you could also grab a zip tie, but you're going to wire all of this together and just swirl them all together like this. Now, because these stems are super long, what we're going to do is we're going to bend them in half like this. And so that's gonna leave you with a beautiful stem bouquet that we're going to insert into our tree. And for that, I'm gonna grab right here. I'm gonna open right next to my biggest ornament, and I'm going to add this guy, pushing all the way in like this. And then we're gonna let them fly. And look how this hydrangea, these flowers, along with the ornament. It just looks absolutely beautiful. Let me do one more. So we started with this navy stem, and remember to fluff it really good. And this stem looks so pretty, it has so much glitter, and I just love the navy color in it because it has that mica flake that it's got navy, but also has that more baby blue, and just the combination of it sparkles so beautifully. And then what I did is I grabbed this other one that is going to bring that baby blue glitter from it. So we're going to layer those two like this. Then I grabbed the white one, making sure that I fluff really good, spreading those stems apart so it really shows. Then I'm going to grab the navy one and put it down in the bottom to kind of be the supportive color. And look how beautiful all of that blue and white is. Now we're going to grab our hydrangea. We're gonna put it facing to the left. Then we're going to grab the flower. This flower is made out kind of like a rubber material, like a foam material. It's so pretty. And then make sure that you give it that curvature, and then you fluff that flower to open all of those petals, making sure that that flower really looks really good. And then after this, we're gonna grab this bush of rose. It's almost like a spray rose. It's a garden rose, and it is absolutely stunning. So we're gonna put it right here on the other side. Once we're done with all of this, what we're going to do is grab our wire, and we're gonna wire all of this bundle right here. Like I said, you can use a zip tie if you wanted to, but I just think wires are so much easier to work with because you can really bind all of this together. Okay, once we're done, remember to just bend those to the back slightly, so that way they're not sticking out of your tree, like this. And once you bend all of your stems, you're going to insert this bundle. Look how absolutely gorgeous it is. It's almost like a bouquet of flowers. By bending like this, you can really make them stand out. So we put the first one right here. I'm going to add this one right here to the top. So opening my tree, I'm going to insert this, and then what I'm going to do, sorry if I disappear, I'm gonna go to the back and I'm going to attach some bristles, and I'm going to attach this together right here. All right, you guys, so we have one facing south, one north. I'm gonna do a few more to the bottom, and I'll be right back with you, so keep watching. All right, you guys, so at this point, I went ahead and added most of my bundles. And as you get closer to the top, of course, the bundles are kind of wide for you to go ahead and put a wider on the top. So what I did is I went ahead and cut some of my stems, not my stems, but my stems. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the exact same thing. So I'm going to layer those stems like this, but they're cut in halves. So that way that you can create a smaller bundle. For this particular one, since I was gonna go up, I'm not gonna use the hydrangea or the bigger flower. Actually, you know what, the bigger flower I'm going to use. I'm gonna grab one. See how you just change your mind on the fly? It's the design world, that's how we do it. All right, so I'm gonna add all of this like this, and I'm gonna grab this wire, and I'm going to wire this all together really, really tightly. And then I'm going to go around to unify them all like this. And what I want you to do is lose the fear to cutting your stems. And so I'm gonna cut all of these stems right here. They are hard to cut, you guys. Some of them are so hard to cut. Some of them are not, but some of them are. And so sometimes it's hard to like use your leg like that. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to cut this one. Let me see. Yeah, like that. All right, so now that I have this, I'm gonna spread this apart. I'm gonna use my roses and kind of spread them apart. And so now that I have this bundle right here, like I said, this is a smaller one I already cut. So I'm gonna use this guy. I'm gonna put it going up like this. I'm gonna grab two bristles and I'm gonna go through the flowers, and then I'm going to attach all of this with the two bristles. And so that's going to be our top layer of our tree. See how I always tell you that the top part of your tree has to go up, and then from here down it has to go down. And this is looking absolutely gorgeous. So now I'm gonna grab my ribbons. I'm gonna show you how to ribbon a tree like this. Keep watching. All right, so I'm gonna share with you a different technique on how to add ribbon. You guys, I've been trying to teach you different ways on how to add the ribbon, the ornaments, the florals, and the stems. So for this, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna drop my ribbon on the floor, and I'm going to go ahead and just fold the top like that. That's gonna be our top, and what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna pinch or cinch right here. So what I'm going to do, so I'm gonna grab a wire. So I'm gonna wire this right here, and it's gonna give us just this pinch right here. And so we're going to attach this to our tree by adding it to a stem like that. So that's gonna leave us with that piece of wire. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go forward like this, and we're going to grab another branch. We're gonna go in there and just create that loop, and then I'm going to go ahead and do another one right here. So basically what we're going to do is use our ribbon, you guys, to fill in all of those spots where you need to fill in without cutting a ribbon. So what I'm going to do now is I'm gonna come over to this side. This is the secret. You have to move from side to side, and you just have to let that ribbon do whatever the ribbon wants to do, just creating these big loops like this. This is a great technique of ribbon laying for when you're done decorating the tree and you really want that ribbon to show. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut right here, and I'm gonna cut at an angle like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna fold up, and I'm gonna fold up again. So that way our ribbon looks finished and absolutely beautiful. One more, like this. Look at that, how pretty. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go from here, and in there, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab my ribbon. I'm going to do a 2-loop bow like this. And then I'm gonna grab a wire. I'm gonna wire all of this together, because we're going to go from there. We're gonna add this bow, you guys, to our joint. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm gonna cross over here. I'm gonna grab my bow, and I'm gonna join it right here. I'm gonna make sure that I go in, grab a bristle, and attach that really tight. So what that's going to do is it's gonna give us a connection, and to continue, see how that created that bow right here. So this is gonna give us a connection to continue now over to this side, making a loop, attaching with our tree, and then going this way. And so I'm gonna do this last loop right here, creating that loop. And so now I'm gonna cut again. I'm gonna cut right here. And remember that this time what we're doing is we're gonna roll it up once, we're gonna roll it up again, we're just gonna let it fall like that. See how there's this bow right here? And so that looks absolutely beautiful. I'm going to do yet another one right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna cut at a slant, and I'm going to do a little tail. I'm gonna go down, pinch, fold, pinch, like this. I'm gonna grab my wire and wire all of this together. And so what we're going to do now is we're gonna go over to this side, and what I'm going to do is I'm gonna attach right here at my joint. This tree is looking very Marie Antoinette, you guys. It's so pretty. The colors, the texture of this beautiful ribbon is just absolutely glorious. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go over to this side, I'm going to attach with my bristle like this. Then I'm gonna do another loop right about here. And I'm gonna try and go in as far as I can, grabbing a bristle, attaching. And then I'm gonna go over to this side and just let it go down. Remember to cut and then fold up like this to give us a seam into our ribbon. I'm gonna step away from it to see what it looks like from over here. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous this way. I'm gonna do a bow on the top. I decided just now that I'm going to do a bow on the top. For the bow on the top, so it looks finished, I'm going to dovetail right here. So I'm going to do 2 loops like this. I'm going to go down. I'm going to do this. I'm gonna leave me a tail. Look, you guys, I'm always surprised at myself how I always finish the idea almost right about when I'm about to run out of ribbon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way to the top where we fold it right here. I'm gonna grab this bow and I'm going to attach it to it right in here like that. Look how pretty that is. And so now I'm gonna grab this right here. I'm gonna make a loop. I'm gonna attach right here. And then this I'm going to fold up once, fold up again one more time, like that. How pretty. All right, so I'm gonna step away from it. I'm gonna see what else we need and I'll be right back with you. Keep watching. All right, so far I'm loving the way this looks. It is so me, so blue and white, gorgeous. But what blue and white would be perfect without the white, right? So for this occasion, I grabbed some of these beautiful glass ornaments. They're all white. So we're gonna continue adding these ornaments. The reason why I wanted to add this at the end, you guys, is because these are glass and you have to be really careful. Add your shatterproof first, and then you wanna go ahead and add the white ones that are glass or anything that is glass at the end. That way you're not maneuvering those, you know, too much. And so make sure that you just go ahead and do it. Now, I always say that you need to add some glass ornaments to all of your trees because a glass ornament really catches the light. It makes it look beautiful. And there's nothing better to me than a glass ornament. I'm gonna put this over here like this. And look how gorgeous it's looking with all of this blue and white. I'm gonna go over to this side now. With all of this blue and white, you guys. Oh my God, it's so perfect. This needs to be in my house this Christmas. I just love these little clusters. I cannot wait to read your comments, so be sure to leave me a comment down below and let me know if you learned any techniques on how to decorate your Christmas tree while watching these videos. All right, so I'm gonna add maybe another one up here. Let's see, I'm gonna add one. Oh, it's getting tight. Okay, so I'm gonna put one right here. And I'm gonna grab now these onion shaped ones, you guys. The iridescent ones, they are so tiny. I'm gonna put on the tip of the tree all throughout, but remember, the smaller the ornament, the more you have to bring it forward because that's what's gonna really make them show. I'm gonna go over to this side. Isn't this beautiful? All right, so I'm gonna add one more, let's see. Maybe one right here to this stem. Oh, maybe right here on this stem. You guys, I'm having so much fun really sharing with you all of these ideas. I love, love, love. If you know me, you know that I love Christmas. I've loved Christmas since I can remember. The reason why I love Christmas so much is because when I was a kid, we really never had a Christmas. We grew up very poor. We had Christmas once, and I told this story many times, but I love telling it, that we didn't have money for a Christmas tree, but one year, my mom got us a Christmas tree, and we were all so excited. It was like a 3-foot tall, multicolor, and she put it on top of a chest of drawers, so it was like magnificent, right? I was so tiny. And I remember that I just loved that. And one time, my mom was not having a good time, and she grabbed that tree and yanked it from the wall and stormed outside and put it upside down in the trash while I followed her. And so ever since, I just loved Christmas. I love the sparkle. I love the meaning of it. I love all of the beauty that we can create during the holiday season, because the holiday season is that season where we can do more because more is more. And I just absolutely love it. All right, so I'm gonna do one over here to the side. Don't forget your sides. And if you're doing your back, well, don't forget the back. All right, this is my last onion shaped glass ornament. I forgot about this round one over here, so I'm gonna add it over here to the top, to the bottom. And then I have this gorgeous ornament, you guys. This is the last ornament I'm going to add, and it's got so much sparkle. It is so beautiful. It's a navy blue, has a little bit of champagne and silver, and it's just what this tree, look at that, needs to tie it all together. So I'm gonna start right here. I'm gonna grab a stem from right here. These I have to be very specific where I put them because I really want them to show. So like I'm gonna find a way to put this right here, even if I have to use the same stem as the other two to put it there because I really want it to be like front and center. Look at that, how absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna bring one to the top. I need to find a way to bring one to the top so it goes all the way from the top to the bottom, like that. Ooh, it's getting heavy in here. I love it. Right, I'm gonna get another one to go maybe over here. I love it when your eye begins to travel and you just start to find all of those precious ornaments. I'm gonna go all the way down here to the bottom. It looks so pretty. All right, you guys, so this is going to be what throws this tree out of this planet gorgeous. Look at this gorgeous ribbon. It is so pretty, and it has this back like this that is like a taffeta. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do our famous two-tail bows. And so I'm going to go like this. I'm going to cut right here, and I'm gonna grab me a wire. Once you have this two-loop bow, what you want to do is go ahead and go back here and fold once, fold twice. That way it's going to make it look finished. Look how pretty this two-tail loop bow is. And so what we're going to do is we're gonna find places like right, let me see. I'm gonna start right here. I'm gonna add one with my wire. You bend that wire in, you fluff this little bow, and you just let that ribbon go down like that. And that's what's going to make it look so elegant. So we begin by folding this like this. So we're going to do one tail, then we go down, we loop, we go over again, we grab our scissors, and you want always one tail to be longer than the other one just to create more texture. So we're gonna grab a wire. I'm gonna put this one on the very top, but before we put it on the top, remember to just fold once, fold twice. And that makes it look finished. Look how pretty that looks. All right, so I'm gonna go over to this side. I'm gonna go over here to this side. Try not to disturb any other of my ribbons or my ornaments, but this is going to make it look finished on the top. Look at that. How pretty. See how this adds so much texture to it? I'm gonna do one more. Remember to start like this, and then you do a loop, you do a bow, you twist. You always twist so that way you have your print on the front. I'm going to wire, and I am going to attach over to this side. So I'm gonna put it right here with this cluster of flowers. I'm gonna find me a wire, and I'm going to attach to that. So now what I wanna do is grab my scissors, and I'm gonna cut to here, and remember to fold up once, fold up again, and just get him a little curvature like that. I'm gonna finish adding this ribbon, and I'll be right back with you. Keep watching. All right, so here is the end result for this beautiful blue and white inspired Christmas tree. And I just absolutely love this chinoiserie ribbon, you guys. The blue and white print, it is so beautiful. And check out this gorgeous 4-inch velvet. It is so pretty, and it's such a good contrast. And how about the bundles of flowers and the hydrangea and the beautiful ornaments in white and blue, and it's just so pretty. I really hope that this inspires you to get out of the box when decorating for Christmas. These would be so perfect for my home because I love blue and white. But remember, the technique is the same, and you can just change the colors of your ribbons and your ornaments, and you too can have a gorgeous Christmas tree like this. I cannot wait to read your comments, so be sure to leave me a comment down below. If you've been following the channel, you know that I'm obsessed with blue and white, whether it's pottery, clothing, pillows, throw pillows, you name it, I absolutely love it. And the ribbon on this Christmas tree was just absolutely spectacular. So now I'm going to invite you back into Shinoda Design Center, and I'm going to share with you a beautiful Glam gold and black Christmas tree that I just love, and the way that it turned out, I know you're going to appreciate as well. Let's take a look. All right, you guys, so to get this Christmas tree started, what we're going to do is we're gonna start with our ribbon. You know that I love a good quality ribbon, and for this occasion, oh my gosh, wait till you see this ribbon, you guys. It's an organza with a beaded, bejeweled edge, and it is just absolutely stunning, but it has a clip. Ow, I already pinched myself. What I was trying not to do, I just did. So we have this organza that is see-through, and it is just absolutely gorgeous because it has this bejeweled edge to it. And then also we have this other beautiful, let me grab my scissors, absolutely gorgeous champagne color with a gold trim in the middle. So what I'm going to do to get started is I'm going to drop it on the floor, but I'm going to layer them. This time is going to be different. I'm going to go ahead and drop this on the floor, and I'm going to put my full layer on the front. And what I'm going to do is dovetail. Now you do have to be careful because, like I said, it has that bejeweled rhinestone edge, and so what I'm going to do is dovetail those two. I'm going to grab my ribbons, both of them, and I'm going to put it right here, and I'm going to attach it with my bristle. This time I'm not going to use my wire, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring these two ribbons to this side, give them a swoop, then I'm going to open my tree right here. I'm going to attach, and then I'm going to separate like this. I'm going to do yet another one, but this one is going to be smaller, a small swoop right here, to attach with my bristle, open them up, and then go opposite way. And at this point, we're going to cut. Now, this time, you know what? I'm going to cut at an angle, and then I'm going to let this bejeweled one a little bit longer than the other one, like this. So that way they're different every single time. So look at that, it just creates that bow. It's so pretty. You guys, this ribbon is absolutely exquisite. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up the other one, and I'm going to go over to the other side. Remember to put the printed one on top first. And then I'm going to grab, I'm going to go as far in as I can. And then I'm going to grab a bristle and just attach like this and separate those. Once again, give it a big swoop, pinch, and then you're gonna go as far in as you can and attach really strong. And then what you want to do is open them. Once again, a small swoop right here. It's about a 10-inch swoop. Grab that bristle and then pull them apart. Look how pretty this is. All right, let me grab my scissors because I always leave them down, but I need them. So what I'm going to do is cut at an angle, and remember to always cut the layer, the bottom layer, a little shorter, like this, and separate them. Look how pretty, you guys. This is so elegant. It is absolutely stunning. I'm gonna do it one more time in the middle. So I'm gonna grab my ribbon. And for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bow. So I'm gonna do a swoop down. I'm gonna layer it like this. You know what, I'm gonna grab a wire for this one, because that way it is easier to attach to the tree and make sure that I don't lose my bow. So really tight, make sure you pull really tight because these ribbons are pretty thick. There you go. So now I'm gonna add right here in the middle, all the way in, almost to the stem of the tree, and then we're gonna swoop that wire right there, and look at that. It's gonna give us this bow, and I'm going to bring my beautiful ribbon forward. The hardest part sometimes it is to keep these ribbons straight, because as you tie to your tree, they tend to kind of wrinkle a little bit, so you have to make sure that you keep them straight. And then also the layering effect, you want to make sure that you layer and they stay on shape like this. And then what I'm going to do is cut my ribbon right here. And then this one as well. I think what I'm going to do is, you know, I design as I go. So I'm like, what else do I need? What else do I need? I need to fluff. That's what I need to do. Look how pretty. So what I'm going to do is now, because this came this way, I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna put this down. I still have plenty of ribbon and I intend on using all of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna do yet another bow, going down like this, grabbing my ribbon and really tightly with my wire, I'm gonna go right about here and all the way in. Like I said, you wanna make sure that that ribbon looks like it's growing from your tree. You separate those ribbons, making sure that that beautiful bejeweled edge, look at that, how absolutely stunning this is. So pretty. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go down like this. I'm gonna go all the way in over here, grab a stem, swirl it around, fluff my bows like this. And then I'm going to do one more, but this time I'm gonna go all the way down into the back of my stem like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna cut. I'm gonna get my next step ready and I'll be right back with you guys, so keep watching. All right, so what we're doing is we're going to lay our ribbon first, then we're going to do ornaments. After that, we're going to do our picks, stems, and florals, and at the end, we're going to add an accent ribbon. If you've been following this channel, you know that that is my way to decorate my Christmas tree. And once I lay the ribbon, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this beautiful ornament right here. You guys, this is going to be a glam gold on gold theme. And for that, I chose a selection of gold and champagne ornaments, and look how absolutely gorgeous these are. These are so pretty. And as you go, be sure to fluff your bows, so that way they stay in place and you don't have to do it at the end, because once you added all of those ornaments, trust me when I tell you, if you got your ornaments in and didn't care for your ribbon, you're gonna take a lot longer trying to fluff that ribbon. And I don't know if I mentioned this to you before, but I like to wire my ornaments, and that way it is way faster. As you guys can see, it's going to take nothing but a few minutes. Now, here is the thing, you guys. If you are out decorating for your clients, if you're decorating your sister, mother-in-law, your mother's house, it really helps you tremendously, and it helps you be a lot faster than if you didn't. Now, remember, what goes up must come down, and what happens on the right happens on the left. So we always make sure that we have the same elements all throughout our Christmas tree. So I'm going to put this guy right here, all the way to the back with that wire, just swirl it to the left. Like I said, just make sure that you fluff your ribbons, your pretty ribbons. Now I have this other gold one. It's a little bit more of a stark glitter gold, but there's going to be so many ornaments on this tree in gold that, well, you won't even see them. You'll see a peekaboo of them. There's always a purpose for them. Here, what happens on the right happens on the left. Immediately go to the other side. What I like to do is then bring one right here in the middle. As you can see, I grab my wire, I grab a stem, and then I swirl that guy into place, and then I hide my wire backwards. And then if I touch any ribbon, I go in there and make sure that I fluff my ribbon. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look for another spot, maybe right here. And what you can do is open up your tree, set your ornament in place, and then grab that stem and then swirl it like that. Remember, what happens on my right happens on my left. So I'm going to go over to this side, put this guy over here like that. And then I'm going to grab my last gold one, and I'm going to put it maybe all the way up here on the top. And for this case, I'm going to open right here. I'm going to touch right in there. Perfect. So far, so good. I'm gonna get the rest of my ornaments and I'll be right back with you. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so our next ornaments are going to be the 4-inch. And I have these three styles. I have a champagne, a textured gold, and a glitter gold. So as you know, if you've been following the channel, you know that I like to add one ornament at a time. So I'm gonna start with this beautiful 4-inch champagne. And I explained to you in videos before, what I like to do is I like to add a smaller ornament every time I have a big ornament, like right here, because that starts to create a beautiful cluster, as you guys can see. Now keep in mind that you want to cluster them in different areas. Like this one went to my right. Now I'm gonna go over here, close to my ornament. You could do clusters, but this is the easiest way because you can manipulate where you want the clusters, how many per cluster, and all of those tips and tricks like Jameson likes to say. By the way, thumbs up for Jameson. Jameson, come over here. Come and say hi. Thumbs up for Jameson, who's been behind the camera in the past few videos, in the past few weeks. What would we like to say to the public?
We are in full swing. We're starting, and let's go on the holiday season. Christmas is coming.
Christmas is coming, and Jameson is super ready. So thumbs up for Jameson, who's been helping these past few episodes, you guys. It's a lot of work to get all these videos done, but we love it. We also love it. All right, so I'm gonna continue with this other gold one. I'm gonna open up right here, and we are creating beautiful clusters of ornaments. And always remember, what goes up must come down. So in this occasion, what went down, it must come up. We're gonna add that right here. And the easiest way is to always have your tools ready and prepped, you guys, because it'll take you no time. You know, I told you in that past video that I used to decorate homes for the holidays, and we used to do about 20 trees per day. I learned to be fast. My ex-boss used to say, you're only as good as you are fast, because we had 20 to do, right? Even though there was a team of people, there was about 4 of us who used to go out to people's homes, and well, we loved it. I cannot tell you I didn't love it. It was exhausting, but it is such a beautiful industry to be in. And I am just so grateful for every single one of you who's watching. By the way, be sure to leave me a comment down below and let me know which tree has been your favorite, what theme has been your favorite so far. And let me just say that there is so many more coming. You are not ready for what's coming next. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the glittered one. And as you guys can see, it's getting very full with the ribbons and with the ornaments. So remember, I told you we have a 4-step process. Ribbons first, always. Why? Because that basically just filled out most of the tree, and that's what gives us the texture and that beautiful festive feel. After that, we do the ornaments. Why? Because that really seals in the gaps. As you guys can see, it's getting filled pretty quick, and it's looking really, really festive. Then after that, we're going to do the stems, because that's what's going to create that 3-dimensional feel on your tree, and it's going to make it look very, like there's a lot of depth and dimension on your tree. After that, I always add an accent ribbon, because it's always about that last little detail. You know, Coco Chanel used to say, before you walk out of the house, look in the mirror and take one thing off from your whole outfit, right? Well, here on the channel, we say the opposite. Right before you're to invite people for Christmas, you look at your tree. If you think you're done, you double it, because the grander it looks, the more you're gonna wow your family and your friends. And let's be honest, you guys, the holiday season is the only time when more is more. Actually, I'll take that back. More is always more, and less is a bore. Pearls of Wisdom by Ramon at home. All right, so I have one last one. Let me see. Let me pull out and see, where do I need one last. I'm gonna put it right here. Remember to cluster all of your ornaments together. All right, so far so good. All of my ornaments are in except my drop ornaments, which will be at the end. I'm gonna get the next step ready, which is the stems, and I'll be right back with you. Keep watching. All right, so we got into that part in the video, my favorite part, which is going to be the picks and the stems and the florals. So what I was gonna say, it's my favorite part because it gives you that depth and dimension on your Christmas tree. It goes from being flat to 3-dimensional, as you guys can see. So what I like to do is just go in and make sure the eye face down, so that way it gets stuck on your Christmas tree. Now here's another trick. Let me do it right here. If you really want to make sure that it sticks to your Christmas tree, what you do is grab a stem and you pull it up in between, kind of mix them together. That way it'll stay there and there is no moving that stem, I promise you. I'm gonna do one right here, right under all of these ornaments. And I'm gonna move this guy over here because it's kind of poking me in the back. All right, so far so good. Look how stunning that is. Jameson, what do you think? Absolutely gorgeous. It is one of my favorite themes to do, glam, you guys. It is so beautiful. And this year a market like gold on gold on gold was one of my favorite themes that we saw. And I just love it because it is so royal looking, so stunning to look at. And all the sparkle to me is what the holidays is all about. And look at that. Now, I did explain in a past video that what I like to do is grab one of these stems and look for the joints where I put the ribbon. And then I put a pick right there, and it hides your mechanic. It turns your ribbon into a peekaboo instead of being kind of like the focal point. Where's my cutters? Hang on one second. I'm gonna grab my cutters, you guys. Jameson, come here for a second. Entertain the people while I go get my cutters. It won't take very long, but
Okay, so let's see here. I love the cluster idea and concept here. I actually like the changes of the champagne and gold and throwing it in there too. I love the sizes and dimensions and textures.
he's got a good eye. Thank you so much. He's got a good eye. I think Jameson's learning, you guys. After 7 years of us doing this here on YouTube, Jameson has officially turned into a designer. All right, so I'm gonna put one right there. Remember to go on the joints. Now, the reason why I wanted my wire cutters, I'm gonna cut a few of these. Don't tell Debbie should know that I did it. But I do have to cut a few of these because I have to go on the top of my tree. And so in order to get smaller, you have to cut them a little bit shorter. And then this little one, you might wanna just go ahead and put it going up. I'm gonna do one more. Oops, I forgot the little booty. I'm gonna do one more right here. And I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one over on this side between my ornaments. And then I'm gonna put the little one over here. All right, so that's all of that style. However, I have one of my favorites, my ultimate favorite pick, which is this beautiful eucalyptus that is big glitter bedazzle and is just so beautiful. They come in so many variety of colors and it is so gorgeous. I absolutely love it. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna put right here where I didn't put the other style of pick. I'm gonna add this right here. I'm gonna grab a stem and just poke it through, and look at that. It's going to create texture because even though it is in the same family, which is the gold, the pattern or the texture of it is different. And on this one, I'm going to be very careful because I feel like it's already getting pretty full. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one right here like that. And I'm going to add another one over to the side over here. Look at that. How stunning is that? This one, as you guys can see, they come wrapped. It's called a paper wrap. And look at that. You just unwrap that, and then what you'll be able to do is pull them out. Oh, look. All you can do is unwrap this guy right here. Then go like this, and now you got yourself some beautiful stems individually that you can put on the top. You can always do this to fill in all of those gaps that you may have on your tree because they're shorter, like this right here. It is so sparkly and I have so much glitter on me, it's out of control. I'm gonna put this one right here on the back. Don't forget to get the top looking as beautiful as the bottom, you guys. All right, you guys, so here is one of my favorite tricks for the holiday season. As you guys can see, this tree looks absolutely gorgeous and this beautiful green tree. However, because it has a lot of champagne and gold, I'm going to add a few of these flocked picks. They are super short and super sweet, and I'm just gonna go add some of them so it looks like our tree is kind of flocked, not fully flocked. It's just starting to snow outside, and that's going to really blend in all of the colors of the tree. And like you can see, I'm pushing them in as far as I can. I'm gonna put them down. Sometimes you have to lift up your items like right here. I'm putting them down, but I want them to just peekaboo instead of being like totally white. You will see how it just looks like it's a light snow on the tree. And like I said, just be careful and try to put them in places like this right here, that there was a gap that way. And you know what? I'm gonna hide that tag because even though we're leaving them on, we wanna make sure that we don't see them. I'm gonna add one right here. This is going to be kind of like a highlighter for all of those beautiful gold moments that we just put in there. It's going to break them apart. I'll show you right here. I'm gonna put one, and all of the satin, all of that white is going to really pop off, and it's going to make it look super special and more festive because, well, it's Christmas. Look at that. Oh my God, it's so pretty. I'm gonna go over to this side and do a few. Remember, what happens on the right happens on the left. So I'm gonna add one right here. We're just basically tucking them in to make sure that it looks a little bit snowy, like that. There is no even need to like really force them in, because look, I'm gonna add one right here, like that. And then I'm gonna use the last one on the very top over on this side, going down like that. And look how that totally changed the look of the tree, right? It looks absolutely gorgeous. All right, so I'm gonna get my poinsettias and I'll be right back. You guys, how absolutely stunning is this poinsettia? It has all of the sequins. It has beautiful champagne color, which goes perfect with our ribbon. Look at this. For that, I'm gonna start right here on the top, and you wanna make sure that you go down like this on your tree. Look at that. We're going to cover all of those holes on the tree, like here. Make sure that goes down like that. Look how stunning that is. The ribbon, the poinsettia. We're gonna go over this way. I'm gonna add one. Oopsie. I'm going to add one right here. I'm gonna go over here, right here. I'm going to add one right here with this cluster. I'm gonna insert one here. Look at that. I'm going to go over to this side. I'm gonna add one right here. See how easy it is, you guys? You just have to look for those prominent spots. I'm gonna add one on the very top, but kind of looking back. You wanna make sure in floral design, whether it's Christmas or any type of floral design, you want to make sure that your flowers don't all face forward. You wanna make sure, like, look, this one's looking to the north, that one's looking to the south, and then this one's looking to another way, because that looks more natural than if you were to polka dot them all looking forward. It just makes so much sense. I was taught that when I was doing florals at the very beginning, and it stuck with me because it is true, you guys. Florals, think of fruit when they fall on a fruit bowl. They don't look placed together right, but they look natural, like they're supposed to be like that. That's why that's what happens with floral design. And since these are stems, they are, I'm gonna curve this one like this, so it goes down like that. Oh, it doesn't want to go down, you guys. We're gonna push it. We're gonna push it. Think I can do it? Oh, I don't know. There you go. Perfect. Okay, I have to make a confession. I absolutely love a glass ornament. Can you guys hear that? And the sparkle that a glass ornament catches is just not equal to a shatterproof ornament. So I always like to carefully, Jameson, can you come here? Just hold them for me as I put them in. And there's different shapes and sizes. Put your finger through here. There you go. And pass them to me. Thank you, Jameson. But what you need to do is grab a spot like right here. Then you put your ornament and then you twist that ornament till it looks like it's growing from that branch. Look how pretty. Can you pass me another one? And I'm gonna do one right here. Look, I'm gonna grab this branch and then I'm going to twist, 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 twist till it looks like it's growing from that branch. Pass me another one. Like I was saying, a glass ornament really does have that elegance, that, like, I don't know, elegance is the right word. Let me put another one. Let's see. I'm gonna put one right here. And we are almost done. Let's see. Where do you see a spot where, I think this tree is about done. Don't you think? All right, so before I give you the last step, I promise you this is the last step, I'm going to recap real quick. First of all, we added the beautiful organza ribbon and the printed ribbon. Look how absolutely stunning that is. After that, I added all of the big ornaments, as you guys can see, the champagne and the gold. After that, I added a 4-inch gold, and remember to always add one style of ornament at a time. That way you can keep control of creating your clusters. After that, I added my beautiful stems and the florals, and then after that, I added the beautiful glass ornaments that really catch that sparkle of the light, and it looks absolutely stunning. So now for our last step is going to be to add our accent ribbon, and you guys know that I love a 1.5 inch ribbon. It's my favorite, and look what this is going to do to this tree. You might think, Ramon, that tree is done. Well, it is not done, remember, till it's overdone. And for that, what I'm going to do is grab my wire, and I'm going to grab my ribbon, and look what we're going to do. We're gonna do a 1-loop bow, let it roll like this, and then I'm going to look for a spot like right here, and I'm going to attach that, and I'm going to just let that ribbon, actually that's a little too long for my taste. So what you want to do is just create some cute tails of extra sparkle. That is perfect right there. This ribbon, you guys, has so much glitter in it, so I'm sure you can probably see it in me right now. And you want to do about a 6 to 8 inch tail, about a 6-inch loop bow, and then about an 8 to 10 inch tail. So not as short as the other one, a little bit longer. Then you grab that wire, always have your tools at the ready like I always said, and you want to look like a spot like this right here. Look at this. We're going to add this cute little 1-loop bow, and look at that. Isn't that just sweet? You have that, oh, let me try that again. So we're gonna go all the way in, then we're going to tie it really tight. Make sure that you tie it really tight. Now we're talking. And isn't that sweet? Look at that. It just adds so much sparkle. You want to be very careful with it. So we're going to do a few on one side, a few on this side, a few in the middle. I'll fluff the tree and I'll give you an end result. Keep watching. All right, you guys, so far the tree was looking absolutely gorgeous, and I'm in love with this monochromatic champagne look. However, as I was going through the aisles here at Shinoda Design Center, I found this gorgeous ornament that I just thought it would make your tree look more modern and fresh. So what I did is I went ahead and add some of this swirl design and some of this checker design. So I'm gonna add one right here to my Christmas tree. And remember to just grab that wire you put on your ornament, twist it into the branch, and let it hang. Also, I want to point out that I added some of these really pretty poinsettias. They have like a silver pattern, but it's more like in the champagne and gold with a little bit of black. And I went ahead and put them right here by another poinsettia to kind of cluster them together. So now I'm gonna give you a close-up of this tree. It turned out absolutely gorgeous. And here is the finished tree. I absolutely adore the way these beautiful checker ornaments with the black and the gold look, you guys. How absolutely stunning is this poinsettia with all of that micro beading and the ribbons. I cannot tell you how obsessed I am with this gorgeous ribbon. Look at the trim with the rhinestones and this beautiful lattice glitter print is so beautiful. And let me share with you real quick this beautiful poinsettia as well. As I said, that black and white really does make your tree look more modern. It breaks down all of the champagne color and it's just absolutely gorgeous. I cannot wait to read your comments, so leave me a comment down below and let me know what do you think about this modern glam look. You guys, how spectacular was this gold and black Christmas tree? That touch of black really turns it into more a contemporary look, but still with a very traditional flair. I just absolutely love it. But if glam is not your theme, I want to share with you this beautiful frosty white and silver Christmas tree that I did a few years ago, and I know that you're going to love it. Let's take a look. All right, you guys, so now we're going to decorate a gorgeous Christmas tree in a snowy theme. And you know also that I have a 4-step process when I decorate, whether it's a Christmas tree, a wreath, a garland, or a swag. And that is ribbons first, picks, florals, and stems second. Third is ornaments, and at the end, our 4th step is adding our accent ribbons, accent ornaments, and anything that is just a little bit more expensive, so that way we can make it really shine. So for this particular tree, I chose my basic I think it's a 4 1.5 foot tall, and then I put it on this urn. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab some of this David Christopher's ribbon, and I wanna do some loops, but we're gonna do something different because I feel a little, well, sassy today. I absolutely love this ribbon because it has a lame back, and I have pre-cut this ribbon. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna do a loop like this, and somebody did correct me, and I don't know who you are, but thank you, because he said that every time I meant to say loop, I say bow. So what I'm doing is a loop, not a bow. So thank you for correcting me. I appreciate that. I'm trying to pay attention to your guys's correction so that I can learn as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start right here on the top, and I'm gonna give this loop, and then I'm gonna do about a 4-inch other loop, and I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna grab a bristle, and I wanna make sure that they really flap like this. Then I'm gonna do another immediately, but this time I'm gonna make it smaller. I'm gonna grab another bristle right here, and I'm gonna gather those two together, and I'm gonna leave that tail right there. I might cut it later on, don't know yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab another piece of ribbon, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. So we're going to pinch. Remember, what happens on the left always happens on the right, and what goes up must come down. And we added to our sayings, balance is my best friend, because what we're looking for at the end of the day is balance, not so much perfection, because I don't believe in perfection. I believe that if Mother Nature does not produce perfection, then we have no business trying to attain it. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go a step down right here. I'm gonna grab a bristle, and remember to always pull as far in as you can, so that way your ribbon looks like it's growing out of the Christmas tree versus being just laid on top. I'm gonna grab one of these bristles right here and fold it, creating a loop. Then I'm going to do another loop right here, going as far in as I can, and I'm gonna stop right here. And because I cut this one short, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one also, and this one I'm gonna cut at a slant, just dropping the droppings on the floor. And so now I'm going to go one step further down, and I'm gonna repeat myself by adding another loop. You guys, how absolutely gorgeous is this ribbon right here? It has this print of snowflakes, and I just absolutely love it because the back is lame, and it has that beautiful glitter print. I love it. And you guys know you get 10% off of your entire purchase at davidchristopher's.com if you enter the code Ramon10. If you wanted to look for this ribbon, you know where to find it. I always try to tell you where the things come from, so that way if you want to go look for it, well, you can. So I'm gonna go one step down, and I'm gonna go almost to the center, but almost to the center, but not quite. And then also I wanna go starting to one side. So we're going to do a loop right here. Remember to always give it a little bit of give, so that way you can create this body right here, this loop right here. And then you wanna straighten up your ribbon, and I'm going to do yet another one right here, like this, grabbing one of my bristles and twisting. And then I'm going to cut right here at a slant. I'm just gonna let it hang like that. And so now I'm gonna grab my roll. This is what I had left over. I'm gonna just drop it on the floor, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. See, if you always cut it at a slant, which I also like a dovetail, don't get me wrong, but if you cut it at a slant, then you always have your ribbon at the ready. I'm gonna do another loop, and I'm gonna grab my wire. I'm always also telling you guys to have all of your tools at the ready. Right here I have my scissors, my wire cutters, my wires, and all my step that I'm working on, in this case the ribbon, because it really makes your job a lot easier to be just prepared. So you're gonna be left with this. And so now I'm gonna go one step further even down right here, and I'm gonna grab my bristle. I'm gonna twist my wire like so. Then I'm gonna pinch right here. I'm gonna go into almost the heart of the tree, and then I'm gonna do another one right here. I'm gonna go right here. Look how cute this is. I'm gonna grab my scissors, and I'm gonna cut it a slant right here. Let's see. So far that's good. I'm gonna leave that down there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab our accent ribbon, and for that I chose this striped ribbon. It's a silver, almost like a lame. It really does have a lot of shine to it. I absolutely love it. This came from, I don't remember, I think it's from Walmart. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to dovetail this guy right here. And this is where the magic starts to happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 loop bows, and these are my favorite because they're so fast. Look how fast. You just pinch, 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 gather. And then I always tell you that you want to do all of those loops at different sizes, because that way it'll give you more texture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my wire right here, which by the way, I'm running out of wire. Jameson, remind me to get some wire when we are at Shinoda Design Center. By the way, you guys, give it up for Jameson, who's behind the camera and who's been helping this season. Come over here, come say hi. He's been helping this season, and I'm so thankful because things are just so much easier. How are you doing today?
Doing great. We're here. Christmas has arrived. Let's do it.
Christmas has arrived. Is there something you want to say to the people that are so nice to you?
Thank you for all the wonderful comments. It means a lot to me. I appreciate it. And yes, you'll see more of me coming.
Yay! Thank you, Jameson, for being here and helping. You guys, I always say that 2 hands work faster than, no, 4 hands work faster than 2, and 4 eyes can see more than 2. And it really is such a blessing. So give it up for Jameson. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to put my wire. Now this time, I want to leave my wire attached to the roll because I'm not quite sure how many rolls, how many loops I want to do. So I'm gonna do 1 right there, and then I'm going to come forward, and it's about 10 inches. I'm gonna grab my bristle right here and fold, and then I'm gonna move it over to this side so I can start going down to this side. And so I'm gonna do another one right here, and I'm gonna now follow on this one. See, you don't even have to cut this ribbon. All you have to do is move it from one side to the next. When you're doing those loops, make sure that you fluff like this. I'm gonna do yet another one because why not? Now this ribbon doesn't have as much body as this one because it is a little bit more affordable, and that is the problem when you get a ribbon like this, that you have to really fluff them before you move on to the next, because you don't want to flatten them out too much, as you will not get it back to where it's supposed to be. You know what, I'm gonna do yet another one. Let's go all the way down to the bottom, and then when we're at the bottom right here, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna leave a tail hanging. I'm gonna do a long tail. And if you've been following the channel, you know that once I cut, I like to put it right here. And so I'm going to dovetail this guy right here. If you guys are enjoying this series this year, I really appreciate if you give the video a thumbs up and share with your friends on Facebook, on Instagram, on WhatsApp, so they too can come and join Ramon at home this holiday season, because you guys, we're having so much fun creating all these looks for you. And I just really wish that you would invite your friends and your family members to come and join us so they too can come and join the fun for the holiday season. And you guys, we are working on the home tour. Me and Jameson are picking some paints because we're painting some accent walls. We are doing some other things to the house because we really want to go all out this year, because Christmas is what we do. So we really want to go out. Plus, you know what? Christmas really is my favorite time of the year. I remember when I lived in the Midwest and like the brisk on the air, and it just feels different. Here in California, well, we're blessed to have really nice weather almost all year round. It does get a little chillier down in January, February, but during Christmas it's pretty warm. So we like to go look at the palm trees, I suppose. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I did that one right there. So now what I'm going to do is I want to do one going down the center. So for that, I'm going to go a little bit down. Remember, you have to step down. It's almost like a step ladder motion. And what you want to do is you want to continue to do these big, massive loops by grabbing a bristle. And look how easy it is. You basically just run your head down, create that loop, go in. Oh. Down, create the loop, go in, we'll fluff it. It doesn't want to partake in. Like this, like that. And then we go down, we create our loop, and then we put it right here with a bristle. And so now I grab my scissors and I cut right here. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to do it fast because it's very repetitive. So I'll be right back with you to give you our next step. Keep watching. All right, so step number 2 is going to be to add our ornaments. And for that, I have selected a variety of them. Now, I have to repeat, you guys, these baskets are your best friends if you are out decorating for Christmas. They are from the dollar store, they're $1.25. And look, you can gather all your ornaments one by one, and it really is very helpful. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab one basket at a time, and I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna start with this white iridescent ornament. And remember, I like to start right here on the top. And this is what's gonna start filling in our tree. And we're gonna look for the biggest gaps that we can find so that we can add our bigger ornaments. So I'm gonna add one right here on the side, to the side, because I do have other ones that I want to add that are a little bit more precious, that I want them to be a little bit of a center stage. So I'm gonna go over to this side now, and I'm going to add one right here. Remember, what happens on the right happens on the left. And then also, I've explained this to you before, I put a wire on them, so that way it's a little bit faster, because look what you can do. Okay, let me see, where do I want one? I'm gonna put it right here. And I'm gonna stick it a little further, right here. Now this right here just creates a focal point, so I'm gonna put my last one over on this side, like that. So now I'm going to grab, let's grab a silver one. I'm gonna grab these silver ones. You guys, I absolutely love these ornaments. They are so rare to find. They look like brushed metal, and they are from Hobby Lobby. However, every year I only get to get one box. So this is my third year that I get one box. So I have now about 12, but look how absolutely gorgeous they are. They look like brushed, you know that when they brush that, well, you know what that's called? That like copper, no, it's not copper, it's like on your countertops. Anyways, it's so pretty. Brushed, yeah. It's brushed something. So I'm gonna start by adding these guys right here. And remember to just grab your wire, it's super simple. And then you put it through, you fold it in half, and then you twist a little bit. And so I'm gonna start adding these ornaments right here because I want a lot of silver to show. And I am going to tell you a secret. We spent about, I don't know, probably about 30 minutes gluing the caps of some of these ornaments with glue. If you are out decorating for the holiday season at people's homes, I really recommend you do that because it is prep work, but prep work makes the dream work. Remember that too. If you don't prep your work, you're going to take so long to decorate these homes for Christmas or your own home. But if you do your prep work, look, you just have it already glued and already wired, and you too can be just as fast. And I'm doing this in real time because I want to see how long it takes me to decorate a Christmas tree. So I'm gonna add this guy right here. And look, I'm gonna share something real quick. So you put your wire through, you fold it in half, you twist it a little bit, and this is how easy it is. You have this little stem. Ooh, there they go. You have this little stem, and then you are just gonna go one swoop to the left, and then one to the right to get it off. That's how easy it really is to put these ornaments once you have them all wired like this. And if you touch that wire and tack it in, you can always just reach for it at the end of the season. And all of the ones that you guys saw me use, I already have the wires because I've already used them. So I don't take this wire off once I put it on. I just leave it there. So that way, next year when I use them again, they have the wire already. All right, so this is my last one of this. And I'm going to go over to this side. I'm trying to go all over the place and trying to stay as close as I can to the larger ornaments so I create more of a cluster. Now this right here, believe it or not, you guys, these are from the dollar store. One day me and Jameson were at the dollar store and we bought all of the ones they had because, and this also I glued down because I don't want them to come off. But they were only $1, and look how absolutely gorgeous these are. They look like milk glass, and that's why I love them. You guys remember milk glass? I love hobnail milk glass. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add another one right here, facing down. And look at that, it looks like candy almost. So I'm going to add this guy over here on the top. I'm gonna go through here and I'm gonna pull. And I'm going to attach like that. I'm having so much fun, you guys, teaching you all of these tips and tricks and hacks on how to decorate for the holiday season. Jameson, do you want to pick this up over here? We spilled them, so if you don't mind picking those up for me real quick so I can continue telling people that we're having so much fun just creating all of these DIYs for you guys. because I really do believe that if I can do it, so can you. I want to encourage you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really want to encourage you to give it a try because it really is not that hard. Like I tell Jameson, I believe Jameson has no creative bone in his body. He's more of, his profession is sommelier, so he knows everything about wine. He knows where it grew, what kind of soil, and all that stuff. But if I tell Jameson, I can teach you how to decorate a Christmas tree, because I truly believe that anyone can decorate a beautiful Christmas tree if you just follow the steps. So simple. Ribbons first, ornaments second, and then we're going to do our stems picks. It's getting tight, so but I do want all of them because I want them to show. Stems, florals, and picks, and then after that we add all of our accent pretties. And if you follow that formula, I promise you, you too will be able to decorate a gorgeous Christmas tree. I'm gonna tuck this right here. All right, well, I have 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm not gonna bore you with more stories about decorating for Christmas, so I'm gonna speed up this real quick and I'll be right back to give you our next step, so keep watching. All right, you guys, so now our next step is going to be to add our picks, stems, and florals. And for that, I do want to mention I have these really pretty flocked picks that I'm going to add because I want it to be a break between the greenery of the tree and then also the white and silver of all of this. So this particular one, it's a branch that I've been also collecting for a few years, for 5 years. Every year I get a few of them because it is the perfect transition for Christmas trees. If you are doing white on green, it is going to break that apart and it's just gonna help you create a more beautiful look, a frostier look. And you would ask, well, Ramon, why didn't you just do that on a white tree? I don't want it to be all white. In the future, we'll probably do like an all white tree with silver, but in this occasion, I wanted to share with you how also a beautiful white can also look on green. So I am going to just add all of these stems, and as you guys can see also what this is doing, it's giving us that depth. So now this is really flat right here, right? And so by adding all of our picks and stems, this is what's gonna do, is going to give us that depth and dimension. And I don't know if you noticed, let me put this last one right over on this side. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, take care of the bottom of it first, and then what you want to do is you want to work on a zigzag pattern, because that's what's going to be more pleasing. You won't need as many stems and it's going to look gorgeous. Now, what you want to do is not insert your stem flat like this, but you want to give it a little bit curvature to the right or a little bit curvature to the left. So I'm going to add this one right here. And I also told you before that I like to have all of my picks and stems on my hand because I need to know how many I have, because I need to know where they need to go. Now, here's the other thing that I've explained to you before, but you know, it's good to repeat. The third top of your tree, it doesn't matter how big that tree is, the third top of your tree, you have to put your stems facing up. So I'm gonna share right here. I'm gonna start in the top right here. So I'm gonna start with that, and that's gonna go up. Now I'm gonna go a little bit down over to this side, and I'm going to do up. Then I'm gonna go over to this side. I'm going to do up. What that's going to do is gonna give us that radiation from the core. And what that means, I'm gonna do another one here on the top. What that means is when a tree grows, if you go outside and look at a palm tree or just a regular tree, there is a main branch, which is your trunk, and everything radiates from there, right? Especially with palm trees, you'll see that radiation. And when you have a palm tree hanging down, this is what happens right here when you get to the bottom. And then when you get to the top, you have the palm tree shooting towards the sky. And the reason why it does that is because the top of it, the sun really reaches to it, so they reach to the sun. And then the bottom of it, at the end of the day, doesn't get as much, and that's why they start spilling forward. And that's with any tree that you'll see out in the wilderness. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one right here in the middle, facing down, because at this point, like I said, we're spilling down. Look how absolutely beautiful, and how that just changed the whole look of this tree just by adding all of these flocked stems. I'm going to add another one right here. And I am so sorry if I'm giving you my back, but I have to do this to show you guys all of this. And so I'm gonna add this guy right here over on the top. All right, so I have 5 of them. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open them up. They are so cute, and what I love about them is that they have this micro sequence in them. And remember to touch every single petal and just give them a little bit of character, every single one of them, because that's what really creates the magic when it comes to Christmas. And I am going to start right here on the top. I have 5, actually I have 6. I can cut that other one if I wanted to, but I'm gonna start right here. So I'm gonna add this guy right here. Remember that we like to work in a zigzag motion. So what I mean by that is like we need to go from here now over to this side. And also remember not to put all of your poinsettias facing forward. You wanna give them a little bit of a twist, because what we want to do is we wanna catch some of that side of the poinsettia, and then the light right here is going to catch really beautifully and it's going to sparkle a lot. So let me open up another one. And like I mentioned to you guys before, these are from David Christopher's, and I'm going to leave all of their information down below in case you want to go look for them. You know where to find them. They are super cute and affordable. And I'm gonna add this guy right over here, tucking it in. And so now I'm gonna move over to this side, and when you are out decorating, or when I'm out decorating, you'll see me do that all the time. Like I just move from one side to the next. I'm gonna add this one all the way here to the bottom, and I'm going to grab this guy and I'm gonna put it right here. Actually right here on the bottom as well. And so you see this zigzag motion, it's almost like a snake motion. And that's where I'm gonna stop. I wanted to add another one, but I'm not going to, because I still have a few ornaments that I want to add. So the last ornament that I'm going to add is going to be this bejeweled, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so obsessed with this ornament. It is from Walmart, believe it or not. It is a disco ball, and we could only find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 6, 7 of them. Me and Jameson went to various Walmarts here in San Diego looking for them. They're so affordable. I think they were like about $3 each. And look what this is going to do. I only have 7, so I have to be very careful where I place them for maximum impact. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab me a spot right here. I'm gonna open up this bow and I'm going to pull right here and attach to my bristle. And so that is going to really catch that light. And that's the only one that I'm going to put on top of, which remind me, Jameson, to go to, we're gonna go somewhere for lunch after this, which is going to be near another Walmart, to see if I can find some more of these, because I would like to use them on some wreaths. All right, so now I'm gonna go right here and I'm going to attach right here. And look at that, you guys. It just catches the light so beautifully. I cannot wait for you to see the close-up of these beautiful ornaments from the Walmart store. All right. And you see right here, I have Dollar Store, which is like this white one. I have Walmart. I have David Christopher's. I have all of these items, and it doesn't really matter where you buy it as long as you put this look together. And the way I do it is like, I like to think that, I'm gonna be honest with you, the first thing that I bought for this particular look was this ornament right here. When I saw them at Walmart, I should have grabbed all of them, but you know, it was still early in the season. I was like, nobody's gonna buy disco ball ornaments. Guess what? They did. I'm gonna go, let's see, I'm gonna go right here. So I'm gonna grab me a bristle. And so what I was gonna tell you is, this was the first ornament that I got for this particular look, because I just love the way it looks and how it catches the light. And then after that, I just started planning, what is my theme? What do I have? I already had the white poinsettias. I already had all of this beautiful greenery. I was like, well, you know what? I can do an all white with a touch of this mirror in silver. And so that's what I did. Look how pretty that is. I have only 2 more, so I have to see where I'm gonna put them. I'm gonna go over to this side. And then after that, because I was like, well, the poinsettias do have that silver micro sequin. I was like, oh, and then I have this ribbon from David Christopher, so let's use that ribbon. And it all came together. So I was like, you know what, Jameson, let's do an all white and silver tree that is going to really be impactful. And you guys, I only use 7 of this. Look, and you really can tell how they catch the light. So I'm gonna put this one more towards the middle right here, along with this guy. And so I'm gonna open this right here. All right, let me fluff this poinsettia, kinda wilted it a little bit. All right, so that's it. And now for my favorite step, I'm gonna get one of our last steps ready and I'll be right back with you, so keep watching. All right, so let's recap real quick. The very first step we did was to add our ribbon, and as you guys can see, it is absolutely gorgeous. I added this printed snowflake and then this beautiful, almost like a lame stripe. After that, step number 2 is to add our ornament. So I added my big ornament, this polished silver. That's what I was trying to say earlier, you guys, the polished silver one. And then right now I added these beautiful disco ball ones, and I just absolutely love them, along with the dollar store white ones. After our ornaments, we added our stems, picks, and florals. And so I added this beautiful white flock stem that really gives me the dimension I need when it comes down to decorating. And then also I added the poinsettias from David Christopher's that I am obsessed with. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the flyaways, you guys. So this is what's really going to just throw this out of the window gorgeous. And look at this. I'm going to start right here in the middle. And I'm going to go like that, and look at that. This is going to tie it all together. I'm going to add one right here on the top. Remember, all of the ones that you add on the top, they need to face up. I'm going to add one over on this side right here. You have to be meticulously about where you put them and how you put them. Remember to give them a little bit of a spin. I'm going to add one on the very top right here also to touch it. Remember, everything that goes up has to come all the way down. And so now we're going to start with our snake motion. So I'm going to start right here over on this side by adding it sideways like that. It's really going to catch the light. I'm going to go over to this side. I'm going to add one right here like that. And I'm going to put one right here in the middle. Now these are from Hobby Lobby, and they are my favorite. I have about 100 of them, you guys, because every year also I buy a few of them because I never want to run out of it. It's like if you were to say, Ramon, what is your favorite thing about decorating a Christmas tree? I want to say it's the accents, the flyaways and the accent ribbon at the end, because it is what really gives your tree life. And so this, I would say, is my signature, is the flyaways, whether it's a floral arrangement, a wreath, or a swag. I love me a flyaway. So I'm going to put this guy right here like that. And so now we have the last step. I'm gonna get that ready and I'll be right back with you, so keep watching. All right, you guys, so the last step in decorating our Christmas tree is to add our accent ribbons. And for that, I selected the bejeweled ribbon that I have that I absolutely love. And you know that I like to do a 1.5 inch or 1 inch ribbon at the end, whether it's a beautiful lame, a beautiful velvet, or something like this that has so much to give. But you want to make sure that you add small bows like this, or loops like this, and then add them at the end so they really shine. And I'm gonna share with you, I don't have but 4, but that's really going to change totally the look of this tree. So I'm gonna add one right here, and I'm gonna attach it to one of my bristles. I'm just gonna let it hang out like that, and see how that champagne silver color, it really changes, and it serves as a highlighter in the rest of our color. So I'm gonna go over to this side now, and I'm gonna add one right here. Just like that, I'm gonna give it a quick fluff, and then I'll be back to give you a close-up, so keep watching. All right, you guys, so here is the end result on this beautiful monochromatic white snowy flocked Christmas tree. Look how absolutely gorgeous and simple this tree is, but it is so elegant. Let me give you a close-up of these beautiful white poinsettias with all of the micro sequins in it, the beautiful jeweled ribbon that is just a little touch. This reflective disco ball ornament is so pretty. And then the ribbon, you guys, look how absolutely gorgeous the ribbon is with the snowflake on it. This is super easy to create if you just follow these simple steps. Remember, number 1 is to add your ribbons, number 2, your ornaments, number 3, stems, picks, and florals, and number 4, your accent ribbon and accent ornaments and the monogram. Why not? I cannot wait to read your comments, so let me comment down below and let me know, what do you think about this beautiful snowy white Christmas tree? You guys, so what do you think? which out of all these 5 Christmas trees was your favorite. I absolutely love all of them, and I really hope that these Christmas trees inspire you to create something beautiful this holiday season. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing because you will not want to miss all the beautiful Christmas DIYs coming your way this beautiful Christmas season 2024. And also don't forget to share the video with your friends and invite them to come and join this channel. Hey everyone, you thought we were done for the day? Well, I just want to give you a sneak peek of some other Christmas trees that you can expect this holiday season. We have a beautiful traditional in burgundy. We have a gorgeous traditional Christmas tree. We also have a beautiful gold and lime green is spectacular. And of course, we have the Grinch coming your way. So I cannot wait for you guys to see all of these beautiful Christmas trees that we've been working on from Shinoda Design Center. I know you're going to love them. Well, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share with your friends on Facebook, on Instagram, and on WhatsApp to invite them to come and join this channel. And don't forget to leave me a comment down below and let me know what was your favorite part about decorating this beautiful Christmas tree. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more beautiful Christmas trees, I'm going to put a playlist right here and also in the description box below to continue to inspire you to create a beautiful environment this holiday season 2024. Thank you guys. Until next time, you can watch more videos right now. Bye.